Hi. Okay, so looking at the back of the eye, looking at the retina itself, this is the right eye and this is the left eye. The issue that we're focused on is right here, not this black spot, here or here, but just kind of all the stuff around it where it's a little bit grayer and less orange. In the right eye, you can see if you zoom in, there's all these little tiny lines kind of coming out here. And in the left eye, same thing here. That is an indication of this retinoschisis that we're talking about. And it's in both of his eyes. So that was the picture we took in March of last year. This is the picture we took today, where we're now looking at those lines, and instead of having a nice flat retina right here, when we look right over where these lines are, I'm going to put my arrow there, all of a sudden you have all of this fluid kind of elevating the retina here. And it's not really fluid per se, it's just that part of the retina that's now splitting apart.
Not getting no blood flow through it, right?
Well, not necessarily blood through it.
What'd they say, a stroke? Is what the guy told me last time.
No, not necessarily that.
Really?
Yeah, it just means that the retina, the layers of the retina are weaker, and so they can't hold it together as well. So I'm just kind of scrolling through, and you can see right where those lines are, it starts to really separate here. So that's what is called schisis. So this is the right eye today, and then that's compared to the left eye today. Same thing, we're starting to see that splitting here of the retina, and it's getting bigger and bigger.
Ooh, that looks like it's already snapping too.
Yeah, and so this is just a cross section of those lines that we were looking at in the other. So when it starts to break off, you have an increased risk of what we call a retinal detachment, which I don't suspect is happening right now, but I'll still need to take a look. But just based on this picture, it's splitting. It's splitting. And so that's why it's difficult for you to see very well, is because this is what helps you, what you need to see well. All the light hits this part of the eye and then goes straight to the brain. But since this part is coming apart, everything is just that much blurrier because you're not able to get that information through very well. So glasses will help to a certain extent, but it won't get that.
Is it worth the money, you think, or the readers?
I think at least starting with readers is a good idea.
That's what he said, because you'd be wasting a lot of money.
Especially since this is actively still splitting, right? This change will change your prescription every few months, and it might be just chasing your tail. So I would try to start with readers at this time.
There's no surgery, there's no nothing down the line that they could possibly do to help?
Only if there's a retinal detachment is when we start to think about surgery, but you don't want to get to that stage if you can avoid it. So the last thing I want to look at is how much are we able to see, okay? I'm just gonna use two hands for